Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now this is the only one video I'm going to do about this man, because after reading an article that he did in Doctor Who magazine and several clips of different interviews he's done afterwards, to be quite honest with you, I find it quite reprehensible what he's done. So I have had several people message me after I put a message on Twitter about a 44-minute video that I did 3 days ago, and I'll tell you what, hit the intro and we'll talk about Chris Chibnall. What's there to say? I'm kind of puffed out after the video I did the other day. Unfortunately, it has been deleted. I deleted everything on it because, quite frankly, I didn't want this channel to become a hating channel. I really didn't. I enjoy some aspects of Jodie's Doctor. I do. I love the soundtrack. I love the SFX. I think the show looks beautiful. It's a shame that the show has a head who is, quite frankly, boneheaded, egotistical, and quite frankly, an idiot. And that's my view. To come into Doctor Who, and genuinely, this isn't just his fault. My personal favourite showrunner was Stephen Moffat. And 50% of this problem is down to him. And I was already in a bad mood a few days ago when I got the DWM magazine, and I got it genuinely to cheer myself up because I have had, quite frankly, an awful week. What to say? I've even got my little puppy here to try and cheer me up, because every time I think of Chris Chibnall and Doctor Who, I seem to be getting angrier and angrier. There's been a couple of articles and sayings and things that he's done in his time as Doctor Who showrunner that, quite frankly, absolutely baffle me. They absolutely baffle me. I remember there was an interview with Stephen Moffat towards the end of his tenure, and his exact words were, "Chris doesn't want to do a Christmas special." That's his choice, is it? BBC don't own the IP. The BBC aren't his boss. Isn't that the reason why we're getting the centenary special? I think the transition between Stephen Moffat and Chris Chibnall is something that should be seriously looked at when it comes to Doctor Who. Because Chris Chibnall was determined to end Doctor Who with just him. And quite frankly, I think that's disgusting, to be quite frankly, was what I was supposed to say, because I'm still quite angry on the matter. He didn't have an idea for Doctor Who. He ruined season 11 for himself. And quite frankly, and my puppy has turned up to cheer me up. Haven't you, Cooper? Yeah? So here you are, you've got a beautiful puppy in the video. All I will say is, there's some things he's done right, and there's some things he's done wrong. Well, say some things, there are a lot of things he's done wrong. I don't think he wanted the gig. I think in terms of football, if you follow, or soccer, if you're from America, I don't like that term either. If you think of it that way, that was David Moyes getting the Manchester United job. He didn't get a choice. Sir Alex Ferguson just went, "You're running Manchester United now. Bye." And I think that's what Stephen Moffat did. I think he was in a wine stupor, figuring out what to do, and he just went, "Who's in my phone diary? Who can I force to take Doctor Who?" Picks up the phone and goes, "Chris, I know you're in the middle of doing Broadchurch. Doctor Who's yours now. Bye, I'm going on holiday for a very long time." Um, and then series 11 was written and produced by Chris Chibnall a year later, because apparently behind the scenes he can't be rushed. I don't want a Doctor Who that's rushed. I want a Doctor Who that's done right. It wasn't rushed and it wasn't done right. There was trying to find a middle ground. A lot of the stories were boring. A lot of the stories were, quite frankly, unfollowable. I think that's a word. They weren't easy to follow, especially the Zizanga conundrum with the pregnant man and stuff. I think that's one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who, especially most certainly up there with Ragnarok Kolos, which is the season finale. He said in an article, even he felt like when he writ it down, it didn't feel like a season finale. Change the concept. You're a writer. I'm a writer. Change the concept. You know, it's silly. I don't mean to lose my temper. Chris Chibnall, quite frankly, has been unprofessional through this entire 5-year run of Doctor Who. He hasn't talked to the fans. He's hurt the marketing. Quite frankly, I think he's damaged Doctor Who, to be perfectly honest with you. And when I did my video when I came back last May or July when I came back, I was on a season 12 high, I would say, because I did, in some parts, really enjoy season 12. Timeless Child, I think, hurt Classic Who, because I don't think he likes Classic Who. If you go back to that interview he did when he was younger, when he's written off John Nathan Turner, which, quite frankly, that man, you couldn't wear his shoes, his socks, or his Hawaiian shirts, to be quite frankly. At least that man had ideas, which you didn't. And this entire thing with Chris Chibnall has been one utter cluster from one to the other. It really has. Jodie's first season, if you'd have told me that Graham O'Brien, Bradley Walsh would be the highlight of that season, I'd have laughed at you. It happened. Poor Jodie Whittaker. She was underwritten. For some reason, I don't know if it's between the directors, I don't know if it's Chris Chibnall, or the way Jodie genuinely thinks the Doctor is. They've tried to mix the 11th Doctor's energy with the 10th Doctor's enthusiasm. Yes, they are previous incarnations, but what they had and what Jodie doesn't have is their own personal spin and feelings on the show. Matt Smith, as he progressed through his Doctor, you could see more of the Matt Smith Doctor becoming his version of the Doctor from season 5. Certainly, I would say halfway through season 6, when, you know, a good man goes to war, and towards the end, and, you know, you get the young man, the older man stuck in a young man's body, which I thought was quite a unique thing for Matt Smith. Jodie didn't get that. Jodie got bouncing off the walls, playing around with the sonic screwdriver like she's in a goddamn toy store, and that's it. That's it. That's all she got. And that was for series 11. Series 12, they tried to do a little bit of tinkering. They gave her a bit of attitude in flux, but primarily she's still the same person that fell through a train in a woman who fell to earth. And I would say that and the first Dalek special is probably the best episodes that we've had from Chris Chibnall. It's very, very depressing to see a showrunner come out and nearly poo-poo the idea of running Britain's longest sci-fi running television series. This show has got an enormous, proud history. We have or did have before, a wonderful fan base. There was no interaction with the fans. It was like he was, I don't know, it hurts me, that article. It really does. You know, when he said he named Yaz after a traffic pullover by the police, that's where he got Yaz's idea from. Apparently that's where he got the whole idea of turning her into a police officer, because he got pulled over by the police. That's why he named Yaz. I'm sat there like, hold on. you try to do the Doctor because of your adoption, which is quite frankly okay. That's where you got the timeless child idea, and then you named Yaz after being pulled over by the police. So you see Doctor Who just as life's challenges, which is fair. It can be written like that. But everything that's bad that's happened to you, you've tried to put into Doctor Who, and that, if you reverse it, that's quite bad. You must have really hated being showrunner. So if you hated being showrunner, were the stories that you and Jodie stormed off set during the middle of season 12 real? Something happened that day, because I remember I had several messages off my friends who are actually in the business, heard rumours of it. Nobody saw it, but there was certain rumours. Don't know what my dog was doing then. This is the only video I'm going to be doing on Chris Chibnall, because quite frankly, I want to put as much effort in talking about him as much effort as he put in Doctor Who. Barely any. Flux had so much potential. It did. It looked like Jodie was finally going to start stepping up as the Doctor. We finally had just Yaz and the Doctor from the looks of it, for the promos. And then there was Dan. He was good for 2 episodes. He can't do more than... this is the problem I have with Chris Chibnall, and this is the worry I've got for the Centenary. There is too much stuff going into a story, and it's going to feel rushed. That's the be-all, end-all. The Vanquishers looked rushed. Legend of the Sea Devils looked rushed. Why rush it? Don't rush it. Get it done right. You know, and the thing is, it's in the can, it's done, and word going around is that Russell T Davies has looked at it and he's not happy with several things. Several? I genuinely don't know where Chris Chibnall got the balls to do this, to be quite frank. The BBC asked for a centenary special at the last minute. That is fair enough. You know, it can be said that Jodie had the greatest potential of any Doctor in this era. She really did. She's the first female Doctor. She deserved a little bit of respect and a little bit of time, which is, quite frankly, exactly what I gave her as a fan. And but she never progressed, and it was the writing and the direction. And I don't know if it was Jodie. I don't know if it was Chibnall. I don't know. There's a lot of holes not very well explained. You know, we got an interview with RTD before he left. We got an interview with Stephen Moffat before he left, on video, on camera. For Chris Chibnall, we got it in a magazine, and quite frankly, you could tell it was done if he had the time. And that's going to be the difference between him and all the other Doctor Who writers. Right, I think Russell T Davies has come back, because he can, fair play, Russell can turn around and go, oh, my friend Chris is the best writer in the UK. He may be your mate, but he's been the worst Doctor Who showrunner by a country mile. And in that interview in the 80s, where he said, though, you know, Doctor Who is the worst written at the moment, he's not happy with several episodes. Well, even he said that when he was 16. He ended up being Doctor Who showrunner and writing the worst season of Doctor Who ever. Full stop. Full stop. You did a little bit better with Timeless Child. That was because you added Captain Jack and monsters to it. You actually used the universe of Doctor Who that's been built for over 50 years. He built it. He had that toy box to play with, and he chose Series 11. That's the egotistical writer in him. And fair play, I know you want to get your end of the story in. Quite frankly, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done a slow progression the way Stephen Moffat did. Stephen Moffat, when he did his season 5, he wants to do his own story with the crack in the wall, but then he slowly brought in the silence. We got that toothless guy, Tim Shaw, in the first episode with Jodie. Frankly, that was one of your strongest episodes, Chris, but to be perfectly frank, you should have just waited. You could have got some fantastic episodes. Like, I think maybe not being so negative, but it's hard to try not to be negative with Chris, because he's been such a letdown. He really has. He hasn't talked to the fans at all, which I think is one of the biggest no-nos in Doctor Who. It's what makes Doctor Who unique, is the being able to talk to the fans. Like recently, there was a big Finnish convention. All the writers were there. The stars were there. They were talking to the fans about upcoming projects. They've actually got fans like Dominic G. Martin working on Doctor Who for fantastic audiobooks in the future. They work with the fans. Chris was totally against it. Did you go to Comic-Con in London, Chris? No. Where did you go? San Diego. Because he didn't want anything to do with the Doctor Who fans. So I'll tell you what, guys, I'm getting more and more cross and more angry the more I think of Chris Chibnall. So I'm not going to ruin your day, and I'm not going to ruin the rest of my day by quite frankly talking about him. After the centenary, I'm not going to do another video on Chris Chibnall. There will be videos on Jodie, there will be videos on Yaz, there will be videos on the companions that followed up in 13's era. Because, to be fair, some of them did a fantastic job. And then there's Toes and Cole. But thank you for joining me on this little rant this evening about Chris Chibnall. I'm very, very sorry that you saw me get a little bit het up, a little bit. I'm passionate about my favourite show, what can I say? And to be quite frank, I know certain things in the business where writers and producers do get quite a little bit, how can I say, egotistical. And I think Chris Chibnall has tried to do that in Doctor Who, and quite frankly, it hasn't worked. So I am going to leave it there. I did do a 46-minute video, and it was literally me shouting at a camera. So, and I was very, very angry about it. Hey, mate. My puppy is demanding attention because he's going for walks in a minute. So we are going to leave you here. And thank you for watching the channel, and thank you for supporting me. There will be more videos coming up. I am thinking of doing some Big Finish in the future. How you do? We have to. We have to. See? We have to. Are you saying hello to camera? Want to say hello to camera, dog? Want to say hello to the camera? Come on, Lulu. Down. Come on. Lie down. Stay there. Stay there. If you like what I do at the channel, hit the like button. And if you'd like to continue to support the channel on my way to 200 subscribers, please hit the subscribe button. And have yourselves a wonderful evening, guys. Do you want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye.